All right, let's just jump right in. The book of Revelation. When I say that, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? For a lot of us, it's this confusing storm of beasts and plagues and all these wild predictions about the end of the world. It can feel super intimidating, right? Maybe even like a part of the Bible we should just, skip. But what if I told you its main message is actually something totally different? In this breakdown, we're going to get into that very first chapter and find out what this book is really trying to tell us. So let's start with that big, loaded word. When you hear the word apocalypse, what image pops into your head? Is it total disaster, complete chaos, the end of everything as we know it? Just hang on to that thought for a second, because we're about to see if that popular idea actually lines up with what the book itself says it means. And hey, let's be fair. The book absolutely has all that intense, dramatic stuff in it. I mean, it for sure shows us judgment and calamity and figures like the Antichrist. But according to the text, those things, as important as they aren't the main event. They're all there to serve a much, much bigger purpose. And that brings us right to the title of the book, which it holds the biggest clue of all. See, in its original language, the title itself tells us this isn't about hiding some big secret in a complicated code. No, it's about revealing something that up until now has been hidden. Yeah, the original Greek word is apocalypsis. It's where we get our word apocalypse. But look at what it actually means. An unveiling, a disclosure, a revealing. The source material is so clear on this. God gave this book to show his people what was coming, not to hide it from them. It's the total opposite of a mystery. It's the grand reveal. So what, or maybe who, is being revealed? Now, this is where it gets really cool, because there's a double meaning here. The book is the revelation of Jesus Christ, because, well, it belongs to him. He's the one doing the revealing. But it's also a revelation of Jesus Christ, meaning he is the one being revealed. He is the main subject of the whole thing.
And that is the absolute crucial point. One commentary I read just nails it with this quote. If we get all tangled up in the symbols and the timelines, but we miss Jesus in the process, we've missed the entire point of the book. He's the main character from page 1 all the way to the end.
Now, because this book is so incredibly rich with symbolism, it's probably no surprise that over the centuries, people have come up with different ways of understanding it. Knowing about these frameworks kind of helps us see all the different angles people use to approach the text. So let's just quickly walk through these. First, you have the preterist view. This idea suggests that most of these events were actually fulfilled way back in John's time, maybe as a kind of symbolic takedown of the Roman Empire. Then there's the historicist view, which sees Revelation as a giant roadmap of all of church history from the first century right up to today. The poetic view says, hey, this is timeless, symbolic encouragement for believers no matter when they live. It's all about personal application. And finally, you've got the futurist view, which is the idea that most of the book, especially from chapter 4 on, is talking about events that still haven't happened yet. Now, while you can find some truth in all these, the book's own claim that it's a prophecy about things that must shortly take place is why that futurist idea is so powerful for so many readers. And this all builds to the incredible climax of chapter 1. John turns around to see the voice that's speaking to him, and he is met with this vision of Jesus Christ. But listen, this is not the gentle teacher from Galilee. This is a vision of the glorified, reigning king, and it is absolutely breathtaking. So first off, where is he? He's standing right in the middle of 7 golden lampstands, and the text tells us those are the 7 churches. So he is right there with his people. His long robe speaks of incredible dignity and status, and that golden band around his chest, that's what the high priest wore. It signifies his ultimate authority. And the description of his appearance, wow, it perfectly illustrates his character. His hair, white as snow, that speaks of timeless wisdom and total purity. His eyes, like a flame of fire, see absolutely everything with a piercing, penetrating judgment. His feet, like brass glowing in a furnace, show that he has already been through the fire of judgment and stands in perfect, unbreakable strength. And his voice? It's not just a voice. It has the power and majesty of a thundering waterfall. And check this out. In his right hand, the place of strength and protection, he's holding 7 stars. Those are the messengers of the churches. And out of his mouth comes a sharp, 2-edged sword, which represents the incredible power and precision of his word. And his face, his very presence, shines with the overwhelming glory of the sun at high noon. This is not some weak, passive figure. This is a vision of ultimate power and authority. And then he speaks. He declares his eternal nature, his total victory over the grave, and his absolute authority. And notice that last part. Who has the keys to death and the grave? It's not some other force, it's Jesus. He has the final say, period. So, okay, that is an incredible vision. But what does all of this mean for us today? Well, this vision wasn't just for John. The book opens with both a promise and a command for anyone who reads it. Right at the very beginning, in verse 3, we find the first of 7 special promises. They're often called beatitudes or blessings that are sprinkled all through the book. A blessing is promised to the person who reads, to those who hear, and to those who take to heart the words of this prophecy. So from the get-go, this book isn't presented as something to be scared of, but as something that actually offers a blessing.
And that phrase, take to heart or keep, that is so key. The source material really drives this home. Revelation gives us more than just clues for guessing the future. The whole point isn't just to decode what's coming, but to be transformed right now by the reality of who Jesus is. It's not about winning some prophetic trivia game. It's about being changed by the one who is being revealed.
You know, so often our picture of Jesus is kind of stuck on his time on earth. The humble servant, the teacher, the sacrificial lamb. And he was, of course, all of those things. But this vision in Revelation, it shows us Jesus as he is right now. The reigning king, the eternal high priest, the glorious and righteous judge. Both pictures are true, and you really need both to see the whole person. And so that leaves us with one last thing to really think about. John, the man who walked and talked with the humble servant, fell down like he was dead when he saw the glorious king. So, knowing that this majestic, powerful, reigning Christ is who Jesus is right now, how does that change how we see the man who walked the shores of Galilee? What incredible power was veiled back then that is being fully revealed to us now?